Right then.
Right on me.
Right on him.
Right on me.
Sorry, team.
It's alright. No, it's alright. What
are we showing here?
if you can get this in the camera.
You're just hiding it behind the mic there now. Hiding it behind the mic. What is it?
Shit happens.
All right, okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Are we doing that? All right, okay.
Yeah, but yours is in context. Mine is.
All right, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
I thought we were just showing hoodies off. Right, what do you know?
Listen, I just know that Marcus Rashford has just got consecutive Premier League players in a month, and no one else has more than one. And I think he's also no player has ever had more than 3 in a season. I think the other one to have 3 might have been Bruno Fernandes.
Wow. For us, or?
I just think ever
No, sure.
in history.
No.
Yes.
Wow.
Exactly. So it's one of them where people will look at it and think if he doesn't get it, then it's a bit dodge. But you know what it's like? It's the same with MVPs in NBA and NFL. They usually go to the team with the best record, or they win things. One of their players will get the... Do you know what I mean?
Mate, if Arsenal win the league, I don't think I'd have an issue with Odegaard getting it.
Not Saka?
I think Odegaard's more integral, more influential. I think Saka's had a hell of a season.
Let me snitch on Steve right now. Listen, I remember a couple of years ago when Saka first broke through, and Steve usually just hates every other rival player. But you really rated Saka early on.
Yeah.
You used to say that you thought he was a good player.
I'm a contrarian runner.
But now you've changed your mind.
Everyone's feeling him. I ain't feeling him no more. That's how it is.
Because when he first broke,
I like the hype. I like discoveries. I like finding the little gems.
No, but I just find that funny how early on, and I was a bit like, meh. And then you said when he just broke on the scene, you thought Saka was a good player. He looked like he can be a top player. But then as soon as he actually became top, he was like, nah,
yeah, not interested no more.
Yeah.
Fucking someone else.
He's going to become a threat.
Yeah.
Now, but is it possible if Rashford keeps up this run of form? If you look at his stats, it is 14 goals and 3 assists in 25 league games. If you look at that in its entirety, it doesn't look like a ridiculous season.
It's stacked to post-World Cup.
Yeah, it's stacked post-World Cup.
Because I'm seeing so many, mostly Liverpool fans, I'm going to be honest, so many Liverpool fans going, Salah and Rashford have had the same season, basically. Statistically, the seasons are very, very similar, aren't they, I think? One's in the season of his life and one's fell off. Now, recently, Salah's form has actually picked up to pre-contract talk form.
He
started the season. Yeah, he started the season poor. He started the season poor for him, but he's still managed to sort of hit decent numbers. Marcus was sort of slowly rounding into form pre-World Cup, but the heights he's hit post-World Cup have been obscene. And I think that's the difference, is that they're still all behind Haaland. But Haaland's done seemingly nothing for 6 weeks.
He's just for the last 6 weeks, he's just been like, his goal scoring's been ordinary. I think it's just been a 1 in 2 rate. I think he's like 6 and 12, 6 and 30.
It's been fine. Yeah,
it's just fine.
You'd be well happy with.
Well happy if he wasn't Haaland.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But it's not like.
But the way the voting's done, I think it's done a tiny bit later now, but it's still done in like the first week of April, which is nuts. It's nuts that they do the voting, because I guess there's a lot of votes to accumulate. But like, can we not do it in an app by now in 2023? Is there not an app that the PFA can do it with?
Probably. It is probably, but like as you said, I think it is massively weighted to how you end the season. I think if you end the season amazingly, it weighs more than because you're fresher in the voters' minds rather than early in the season.
Oh, there's 1,000,000% recency bias.
Yeah.
Marcus is in a really good... If it wasn't for that 7-0, I think, if he'd have scored and United had won at Anfield, I think they'd have been parcelling it up for him right now. Because it's in... You got to remember...
storylines as well. Yeah,
you got to remember, a lot of these things... It's like Virgil van Dijk ending up in the FIFA Pro Player of the Year. It's because a lot of players don't actually watch that much football. So they go on a lot of narratives, they go on a lot of what the media's saying. They don't watch as much as a lot of fans are watching. They're too busy cooked up with, getting the touch right, sorting out their left foot. Like all of these sorts of things.
Didn't know where he was going there initially.
What do you mean?
Nothing.
But like a lot of players, you speak to some players, like How many players do we know, current ex-players who don't watch football? There's so much of that.
Yeah, that's normal though. I think it's when you become so like invested in something for so long and it becomes such a large part of your life and you stop doing it, you kind of want to break away from it a little bit. I don't think some footballers will probably still continue to be obsessed, but some want a little bit of like a new lease of life almost, and they just don't want to like be watching football all the time.
There's some that we know that just don't watch football, and there's Rio for an example.
Yeah.
He is watching football all the time. You can't get him away from that. That's his natural personality, is to watch every single game that he's on. That's what he's about. And there's a few that are like him, but there's also a few of the others that you just go, nah, I don't watch football.
Yeah, it's true. But there probably is a little bit of that in the media. But I don't know. I think the way it is now, Rashford has a shout. But when I'm looking at Haaland's numbers, 27 goals and 5 assists in 25 league games. I didn't realise his
that should be a tap in.
That's insane. You know, when people are doing the Haaland Harry Kane debate and how Harry Kane is meant to be this amazing distributor and he's got great vision
He's
and
never come close to that.
And he's got good assists. No, I'm just on about the fact that Haaland has more assists in this season. Yeah. 5 assists. I didn't realise he had that many, but that's 32 goal involvements there in 25 league games, and that's after a bit of a quiet period. So I think he's going to be tough just from a statistical standpoint for Rashford to outdo, especially if he breaks Mo Salah's is it all-time goal scoring record for a season? Is
34. Yeah. 34 league games.
I don't think it's 34. I think Salah is like 32, 33-ish. Where he's only 5-6 away from, but obviously there's only 12 games left, so he needs to do a 1 in 2. He's capable.
Which he can definitely do. Colin there says, I don't feel like David Beckham watches United. Yeah, I don't think there's... Notch there says, I wonder how much football Gareth Bale watches. Yeah, there'll be some that just don't give a shit.
Yeah, I doubt they don't. I doubt he watches anything.
Yeah, so it's interesting because realistically,
and what Ben White said
on the season, on the season Haaland's had, it's Haaland. It shouldn't even be a question, but because there is form and recency bias and narrative, I think Rashford's got a chance. But I also think Odegaard and Saka have got opportunity to do something here as well because of if Arsenal do win the league. I think winning stuff should always weigh into Player of the Year awards. David Ginola winning it in '99 still breaks me. Still wakes me up in the morning angry that David Ginola won Player of the Year, Premier League Player of the Year in 1999. Are you kidding me?
Especially because he didn't win anything.
I think they won the Worthington Cup.
Yeah, it usually is. In most sports, it always goes to...
It should, though.
It go to the... Like, they've won something. Because it means that you've contributed to something, which is what you can't say about Harry Kane's career. Respectfully. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, what good is all the stats, all the assists, and those kind of accolades without actually winning silverware and something to look back on? And I know we're kind of shading Harry Kane a little bit, but it's true. Do you know what I mean? I think, what does it mean if you don't actually get some silverware and kind of winning?
Let's say United do a domestic cup double.
Yeah.
Marcus has scored in one final.
It's Premier League Player of the Year, though. They won't count that.
He did score, didn't he? He did score against Newcastle. Didn't imagine that, did I?
Yeah, he did. He got given the goal.
And he scores in the FA Cup final. Because, all right, there's Premier League Player of the Year, but...
We think they'll mentally count it.
Yeah, I don't think you can not. Because so you've got the PFA Player of the Year.
Yeah.
He's got to be in the mix for that. I think the Football Writers Player of the Year, that's another one that he could get given. I think he's got a good chance of that one. But yeah, the Premier League Player of the Year one, I mean, as it stands, he's got 3 Player of the Months. But as we've said, it also strongly... And I'll give you a pro tip. How I've always calculated Paddock's Player of the Year is who got the most Player of the Month. Yeah, but that's probably how they do it. Which is a pretty fair way to do it. Pretty fair way to do it, but I think if United need to finish the season strongly, though. You know, we spoke about the recency bias. If it's one of them where Rashford continues to score, but United are drawing and losing games, we have a bit of a lacklustre finish to the season. Yeah, if he starts winning those games again, that'll work against him. If he has that Cantona run, that Cantona like half a dozen games, 1-0 Cantona 85th minute like we had in 1996, 97.
Also, I want to pull you up on something.
Literally winning us points.
That's all in the chat.
Oh, yeah.
Someone's accused Steve, saying, remember when Steve, it was ages ago, so remember when Steve disliked Pelestri?
I didn't dislike him. I just didn't see anything to like in him.
Do you know what it was? I think I saw this firsthand in Qatar when we watched Uruguay, South Korea. And he started and played the majority of that game. And you weren't having him, were you? He didn't play great, to be fair.
It was also his first sort of few cameos for United. Didn't really do anything. And we did the YouTube scouting of him the day he signed. And the highlights video had mistakes in it. And you're like, so they haven't got enough to make a highlights video here. Nah. But obviously he's gone on and grown since then.
He has gone on and grown. And
he did look good last night.
Do you think he's been hard done by, though, with his lack of opportunity? Because it's not the first time that he's come on and had a good cameo.
A lot of players in his position. I think at the moment he's probably just nudged himself ahead of Alanga. But I don't think Alanga's United quality.
I think nudging yourself ahead of Alanga at the moment is not an achievement, because I feel like Alanga's
that's what I'm saying.
Got 1.5 feet out the door.
The thing with Pelestri is, can he be a starter for United week in, week out? That's a big question. I don't think any of us know the answer to that, yes or no, right now. And if it is yes, okay, well, let's continue his development. And if it's a no, okay, well, can he be a legitimate off-the-bench option that would be happy to be the second choice option and give you an impact like he did last night off the bench occasionally? If you can do that, well, not bad value really to have that, because you got to have the levels in the squad. You can't have 25 players who all think they should start every week, because you're going to have carnage.
Yeah.
As Chelsea are definitely about to find out.
Nah, it is true. But you're looking at Pelestri, and I think everyone always thought he never gets any minutes, he never gets any opportunity for United. Why does he start pretty much every international right wing for Uruguay? It's not like it's Andorra or like Luxembourg.
It's about the same size though.
Do you know what I mean?
Uruguay is an extremely small country.
But from a football standpoint, they've got...
Yeah, it's a talented
football team.
Just before it goes off, Knight's there. Marshall, I don't know if he was upstairs when we was talking about this.
What's going on?
We were just talking about this, and I threw this out there, and I said, I reckon it's close. And he's just put in the exact thing there. Marshall has started 15 times for United in the last 2 years. Weghorst has started 15 times in the last 2 months. I pretty much said the same thing, didn't I? I said in a quarter of a season, Weghorst has probably played as much as Marshall has in the last 2 years. And that's why he's above Marshall. Basically, McCullough was in our group chat last night moaning about Weghorst. And I'm not exactly pro Weghorst. I'm not exactly anti Tony Marshall.
You are anti Tony Marshall.
I'm just pro wind McCullough up. So anything that he was putting in the group last night, I was just like, yeah, but look at him, he's playing. I was like, meanwhile, your boy is watching in the stand.
Do you know?
Because obviously he's extremely pro Tony Marshall.
Yeah, he is. But you know, with the Weghorst thing, I appreciate the emotion he showed and his work rate and stuff, but up front for United, we need so much more than that. It's not even like the chances he gets where he misses them, or he's a little bit slow, or a bit lumbersome is the word, or a little bit like a step short. It's when there's like crosses that fizz across the box, or little stuff where if there's a striker that's a little bit more sharper or doesn't move in slow motion, they get on the end of it. Do you know what I mean? And I know we're kind of getting away with it now because of Rashford's form. But my worry is Weghorst starting for the rest of the season, where there is going to be a number of important games. And I think he could cost us in a lot of those games, because I think that's the one thing that we've been overachieving with, is the fact that we've been winning games, scoring goals without a goal-scoring number 9.
Yeah,
I think
striker. He might end up scoring a few more goals. He might end up scoring a few more goals. Anthony might end up contributing a few more goals. But there does have to be more production out of him and Anthony. There does. And realistically, you would expect Rashford's... is Rashford's form going to continue like this to the end of the season? I'd be amazed if it does.
Probably be peaks and troughs, but for him to stay like this, it would be insane to ask. And Rashford's the reason we're in the position we are still, because he's been covering basically all the goal scoring ability for most of the team. Not
just, it's also the fact Weghorst isn't good in the air. That's bananas, isn't it? What I think I would pay like a significant percentage of my season ticket money to just be able to go and watch a training session where Martinez is winning headers against Weghorst in training. I think I'd pay a lot of money for
I
that.
knew Weghorst aerially was finished when he got out jumped and he lost an aerial duel to Gavi against Barcelona. Gavi was like 5'5", jumps up.
That's why I
Levels
know
even.
if you get me in a training session where they're on opposite teams, I'm going to see that 5 times and I'm going to laugh. And it's going to be so funny.
Does that mean that people do say this, but I usually always disagreed with, like, being tall doesn't necessarily make you good in the air.
It's an advantage, though.
It's just a massive
Most
advantage.
people can only jump a foot or two when
Yeah,
they
I
jump,
know.
right? So if you're a foot bigger than someone, you don't have to jump high to be able to win that header. But the likes of Martinez positionally are freakishly good. And obviously Weghorst has got a lot to learn. Maybe they should talk to each other about headers and that.
He's too far. He's too far gone. He's too like. He's too old for it to improve aerially. You know what it is with Weghorst? Weghorst looks to me like he is not a natural striker, but he's played there in his career because of his size. He looks to me like a player that thinks he should be like a midfielder or a silky number 10 because
He's got the feet for it.
he's got decent feet.
He's got the vision
and
for
he's
it.
technical. He's good on the ball and he's better than you think for his height. But in terms of being an actual number 9 and them qualities, he doesn't have it. I think his whole career, he's probably played up front because of his size.
Yeah.
But I think if he was like 5'9" or 5'10", I don't think Weghorst would be a striker. Do you know what I mean? That's the
Arjun
thing.
Shetty there says Shea Lacey under 16s at United. We're already working on that one, aren't we?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
We're already working on that one. Yeah, but kid's flying. Kid's a real talent.
Is he... There's always one gem.
Yeah,
There's always one
he's
gem.
little though. He is little, but he's a serious player. He's not
60, you know, he's got
yeah,
time.
Yeah, he has. He's one of those, isn't he? Notch says Weghorst's starting position when going for a header isn't really better than Lindelof. And yeah, but Lindelof's not great in the air either.
So once Crunk King 232 says
Fellaini wasn't great in the air. No, not really.
I disagree. Yeah, he was all right.
I wouldn't say great.
Not great, but he was decent.
The thing is, though, you have players, don't you? Like Tim Cahill, famously just amazing in the air. 5'10".
Yeah,
Is he 5'10",
it's not always
5'9"?
about height, though.
No, it's not. It's timing.
Yeah.
Timing's everything.
Chicharito was good in the air. Do you know what I mean? Chicharito was good in the air. Aguero was decent in the air when it came to him. You know what it is? It's small players. They end up being like some of them. They're good when the opportunity arises. Someone who's probably one of the better aerial forwards compared to height in the league is Diogo Jota. Diogo Jota is really, really, really good in the air.
I think he's a really good player.
Yeah, and he's like 5'8".
Yeah, I think he's just a really good player. Danny Lee, Fellaini had good chest control. He had a better chest control than he did with his feet.
That's mad though. Remember the amount of times that we like threw Fellaini forward and just and he'd be able to like hold 2 defenders.
His chest was like Velcro. It
And
hit
like-
it and it just stick. I've
Sticks
never
to
seen a
his
chest
chest.
like his chest is better than his feet. I guarantee it. If you asked him to control a ball with precision, he's not doing it as good as if it comes to his chest.
I can't believe Fellaini played for us. You know. You look back here.
He's one of them though, isn't it? Because if you only see highlights of him and you think, do you know what? Yeah, maybe he could do a job, and you see him week in, week out, and you go.
Yeah.
He makes Scott McTominay look like a ball playing midfielder.
Do you know what I mean? It's funny though because when
Do
McTominay
you reckon Everett out jumps Weghorst?
probably he had a good leap on him ever.
Did he?
But McTominay was.
But again, it was timing as well.
That's all it is. I think smaller players kind of negate the height thing.
Cuz there says we need Eric Bailly back. He's still a United player, you know.
I don't.
He's
think,
only on loan.
I think he'll get bought by him in this summer.
Yeah.
Because he's
But he
played.
is only on
He's
loan.
played decent for him.
Yeah, apart from trying to murder people.
Yeah. But that's what makes him him.
I love that though, mate.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you love imagine you sat next to him in a changing room. Wouldn't every day be mint?
Yeah, it would. Doesn't everyone say like he's the favourite teammate? He's just the funniest.
Oh, of course he is.
He'll be so entertaining.
Of course he is. And can you imagine what he's like in training? He don't have a match day filter and a training filter. There's no chance. He's out there trying to murder people in training. I guarantee it. I think it'd be so frustrating to coach, but entertaining to be around.
I've had respect for Eric Bailly since he came out in that interview, didn't he, when he was on loan at Mars early in the season and just basically said, in uncertain terms, I should have played ahead of Maguire really. but he didn't say it in them exact words. But that's what he said.
But he definitely did.
Yeah.
The translator that was translating it went, I'm not going to throw him under the bus here, but let's all look around a bit. Yeah. Knight says Bay had a clause where he had to play 50% or something to get bought, but then he got the 7-match ban.
That is the most Eric Bailly story ever.
If you've not seen it, it's basically he's nearly kicked someone's head off. Is what he's done. He's gone for the ball. It's not like malicious, is it? But it's just Eric Bailly.
Fucking Alex Tellers is back as well.
Yeah, Tellers is back. Do you know what? I'm so glad we're out of that banter era. Because there were some players that were just banter players.
Do you know, it is banter, but you know what's funny though? Am I bad for thinking that I'd be interested to see how Tellez plays under Ten Hag with like the inverted, because he's got the ability. Because he's got the ability to. Because obviously
defending was his weakness, wasn't it?
But he couldn't defend, but he had ball playing ability. And the same with my last
3 players, 3 clubs: Baye, Tellez, Maguire. I think they all go. Where are they going though?
I think Bay probably signs for Marseille. I think Tellez probably goes somewhere in La Liga because that's where he is now. Don't necessarily think it's Sevilla
or Portugal.
As for Harry Maguire, I think Harry Maguire gets a Premier League move. Well, I'm not exactly.
It smells like West Ham, doesn't it?
It smells like a West Ham.
You could definitely see that. Let us know in the comments. Harry Maguire, what club? Honestly, I definitely feel like a West Ham. If Southampton stay up, maybe.
Newcastle, maybe.
What, really? Aren't they trying to play high up, though?
Not massively. Things. You should have seen this. Okay. If anyone watched the watch along yesterday, I think he was on to me about this, Joe. Joe said Harry Maguire is a very, very decent, like, centre half, good centre half. And I disagreed. I said he's not. Just out and out, he's not. Do you know what I mean? And then all hell broke loose. And then he was like, "All right, so what's your opinion on a decent Premier League centre half?" And I bet Maguire's better than him. So I was like, okay. And I went,
you can only throw Mings out there.
you mentioned Mings after, but I said Lewis Dunk for Brighton, decent Premier League centre half, and I think he is better.
Tottenham.
Yeah,
no, I don't know about Tottenham.
Tottenham maybe. I think he's better than
free maybe.
I think he's better than Harry Maguire, Lewis Dunk for Brighton.
Yeah.
And then he looked at me and acted as if I was insane. Do you know what? More people than I thought agreed with me that Lewis Dunk was better than Maguire. But
Joe's got a bit of a thing for Maguire.
He's got a massive thing for Maguire. I didn't say that to him on air. I didn't want to pull him up because he was getting quite emotional. So, but I was like,
"Fuck it."
He defends.
So, we may have an issue with a centre back in our game tomorrow. I don't know if I told you this already.
Yeah, I know.
Did you know?
Yeah.
So I have another player that has got very, very similar attributes to that particular defender. So I have one defender that is slower, I think it'd be fair to say.
Yeah.
But he's very vocal. He's great in the air, very combative, quite hard. And I have another defender that's a little bit smaller, skinnier that is. They're both the same height, I think. He's unbelievably quick.
Yeah.
I think you're quick. You had to try and get around him. Do you think you could?
Who?
The other one in a straight line race? The quick one?
Centre half. I don't know exactly who you're talking about now. You
do. All right, Oatsy.
Oh yeah, Oatsy's hard to get around.
So very quick on the floor. They can both play with the ball at the feet.
It's not even just Oatsy being quick. I think it's his long legs.
His agility is ridiculous. The amount of times he controls the ball near his head, Zlatan style, is outrageous.
Yeah.
But I was thinking about this today because one of those two is a doubt for tomorrow, and I have another player that has got the exact same characteristics, and I was going to swap them in. And even the player that I was talking to was like, "Oh yeah, that's just like for like swap that actually."
Yeah.
Fine. Then I was like, "Oh, I wonder if I could play this person and that person together. Would that be good?" But either way, the attributes that they've got at centre half, obviously the levels are different, but Harry Maguire lacks a lot of the basics. Now he would still look godly at our level.
Yeah, he would.
But when you're comparing the like for like within their leagues, he's fixated with the ball. He doesn't relax enough to just get his head up and have a scan around about what's going on and count up. He's just ball focused.
His passes lack detail. Maguire a lot.
It takes 2 free touches instead of 1 or 2.
He doesn't pass. If you look, he doesn't pass back foot, so players can go forward straight away. It's always a little bit behind, a little bit bobbly, or in the air, or a second too late. Do you know what I mean? It's just little stuff, and it'll go down as a completed pass, but not a pass that you need. Do you know what I mean? And I don't know what his thing was for Maguire, but I was like, definitely not. And Baggers was the same.
In which sense?
Baggers was like adamant to me that United, that Maguire would start week in, week out for Eric Ten Hag as skipper. And I was like, I brought it up the other day. I was like, Baggers, like, look, it materialised the way I said it would. Ten Hag didn't want to come in and just be like, you're not playing.
Give him a chance.
Give him a chance a little bit, make it seem a little bit less obvious. And then as soon as he could take him out of the team, he did. Maguire was the left centre-half for us, weren't he? That's where he plays. What was one of the first things that Eric Ten Hag did in the summer? He brought his left side centre-half. Says everything you need to know.
But not only that, I think what we've seen since then is the fact that his second choice left side centre-half is Luke Shaw. You can laugh, right? But is he? He is. He is.
Yeah.
There's times when we've gone, actually, let's throw Malacia left back and Luke Shaw left centre-half. Harry, take a seat. He's not even got on the pitch. That tells you everything. Now, you can have slow centre-halves as long as the other centre-half is speedy. That's not an issue. Obviously, they've got to be able to communicate. One's got to start going in hard and being a stopper, hitting things right hard on the halfway line, maybe even being a little bit over the top sometimes, smashing people on the halfway line, Ramos style, as long as the other one is able to come back and cover him.
Yeah.
And I don't think Maguire... I think he's capable of smashing people, but can you remember him smashing anyone?
No, I can't. And if it is, it's probably a challenge where he's too slow and he's a little bit too late. Abhinav Verma says a lot of chat online about Varane and Martinez aren't good at defending channel balls. What's your opinion on that?
Just fucking nonsense.
I think they're decent. I think they're decent in that area. They're both mobile. The issue is, I think in Ten Hag's system, to play centre half for him, you've got to be really, really, really good. And you've got to be good technically, and you've got to be able to defend well 1v1, because he likes to invert his fullbacks. The centre halves are going to have to defend those wide channel spaces a lot. That's why he can't play Maguire, and that's why he has Varane and Martinez playing in them positions. It's a tough task. Do you know what I mean?
There's defending on the halfway line, which is hard, because it puts those two centre halves under a hell of a lot of pressure. Because fast players, and there's a lot of fast players, fast players in the Premier League. Maguire looks slow. I bet he's rapid. But if we brought him down to our training session, he'd be top.
He'll look slow, but he'll be a decent speed at obviously normal levels of football. Yeah.
So but in the Premier League, there's some. We had Isaac come to training, didn't we, the other week? And obviously he played with us a couple of years ago. He looks so sharp right now. He was probably would have paid money to watch that training session. It was that good. He was he destroyed this poor 16-year-old lad that went up against him at left back. I think he megged him 3 times in one move. Yeah. Just absolutely took the piss out of him. Now Isaac is playing Northern Prem. Can you imagine what a Marcus Rashford would come and do in our training sessions? And the same sort of thing applies if you brought a Harry Maguire or an Ashley Young. We think they're shit, but they're not shit. Harry Maguire isn't good enough to play the system Manchester United want to play. He would have been good enough playing the counter-attacking system, potentially, because as we saw against West Ham at home this season, he defended the box sensationally. When he was asked to do that one specific thing, he was excellent at that one specific thing. When you ask him to play a different style of centre-half, he struggles. So I think if he went to a team, if he went to Everton, kill it. They'd love him. Big slab head, Bosch. Have birds headbutting bus stops again. Yeah. You know what I mean? He'd just be about that, wouldn't he? He would look sound there, no problems. Yeah, Sean Dyche. Tarkowski and Maguire. Go on, son. Get it done.
Jesus. I was going to say they'd be good from corners, but Maguire's shown that's to be a myth.
But he gets his head on corners. He just don't do anything with them. He wins almost all of his corners. Yeah, there's no direction on him.
Yeah, I just think we need to get a decent deal for him in the summer, and then we need to put that into at least getting a younger centre half or using that money to fund our next marquee striker because we can't have Weghorst up front next season.
Abhinav says Marcus Rashford would nutmeg your league into oblivion. I guarantee no one would ever do this because the insurance. But if you did bring Marcus Rashford and set him a challenge, can you nutmeg every single one of the players on the opposition 11 at our level? He'd do it in 10 minutes.
I don't know about that because he'd be playing on the side of the pitch still. I think he'd get quite a few megs, but some of them might be the same person a lot. Do you know what I mean?
think he'd go and find them. I think he'd dribble it to him, meg them, and fucking dribble the next one. He could go on a series of fucking megs in the same possession.
Yeah, I've seen him release people. I told you about that.
I think he'd do it inside. I'd give him quarter of an hour. Be generous. Quarter of an hour he'd have megged everyone.
It's not even just that. Obviously, you talk about physical attributes. At the level, at Premier League level, Rashford's like an elite athlete. Pace, power. So imagine he'd just be jogging away from people. Do you know what I mean?
He won't go, but a swap deal for Maguire and Gay. I like Matt Gay. I do. This is an interesting one. Levi Colwell's probably going to get launched out of Chelsea, unless someone's got a brain there, because he is a footballer. Yeah. Left side centre half. Would you take him as a backup to Martinez?
Gay?
Not Gay, no. Colwell.
I'd rather Gay.
Gay's probably going to expect to start more, though, I think.
I'll take Colwell then, because Colwell's a good player with high potential. He's at Brighton, isn't he? I swear he's at Brighton.
I think he might be, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if he gets much.
Did he get out in the January window on loan? Or did he go start the season?
I'm not sure. Maybe because someone can check that for me, but I'm pretty sure that he is there. I know he's Tomori as well. Is Ronnie still better on the ball than AWB? Probably not. He's a Premier League footballer. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes it clouds your judgment.
I bet you're a better dribbler than him.
Yeah.
I don't know. I bet he might have a better first touch, maybe.
Nah, I don't know. My first touch is fine. Wan-Bissaka's a bit...
There's going to be... This is the madness, right?
Nah, but Wan-Bissaka is not... Wan-Bissaka is an awkward dribbler, but he's not necessarily a bad dribbler. I think how often do you see Wan-Bissaka run with the ball or go past someone and he gets tackled? He
comes into the space a lot, though, doesn't he?
He's
That's
quite
the
awkward.
bonus of living at a fullback.
Yeah.
People say this all the time about, play this fullback in a forward position. You go, no. Playing the wing is so different to playing fullback. Just because they're on the same flank.
Yeah, it's true.
It's not the same job.
It's true. Gavardio's a player. There's no chance we get Gavardio.
No, I do like
Gavardio.
He's £100 million.
Gavardio is the next £100 million centre half.
Yeah,
he's that good. You know what I mean?
Isn't there a lot of talk he's going to City? Mate, if City managed to pull him off and Bellingham, where's all this talk about Bellingham and Liverpool? By the way, has someone said something, or is it just people like putting two and two together?
I think Liverpool's the best destination for him in terms of play style. I think he suits going to Liverpool more than City and us.
He'd be excellent in that midfield because he's all action.
I think he exactly suits their system and Klopp, and he'd probably thrive there. I don't think he's the type of 8 that United necessarily want. Do you know what I mean? I think Frankie de Jong, that kind of mould, is much more the player we're looking for. I think Bellingham's needs to be released a lot more. Do you know what I mean? I think he needs to play in a 3-man midfield.
Yeah,
where
his
he can be
attacking attributes are probably a little bit better than his defensive attributes.
And I think he's better.
He's box to box.
He's better front foot defending than back foot defending as well. He's a presser. Go and get the ball back.
Yeah, if you was to chin off, if you was to chin Bruno off, I'm not suggesting this is what you do, but I think to accommodate a Bellingham and a De Jong, Bellingham, De Jong, Casemiro would be a sensational midfield three with a higher ceiling than one that includes Bruno, I think. But I don't think you're going to chin Bruno off. Yeah. So what you're going to look for probably is more of a Frankie de Jong, someone who's going to progress it. Anyway.
Yeah.
Frankie de Jong looks after his balls. Do you look
when he's
after
not getting
your
bullied
balls?
by Piqué?
Anyway. We'll talk about that when we come back. Here's Manscaped.
Spring is in the air and it's time to spruce up your grooming routine with Manscaped, the experts in below-the-waist care. Say goodbye to unruly hair and hello to a confident new you with Performance Package 4.0. Inside, you'll find everything you need for the ultimate ball care experience, including the Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer with advanced skin-safe technology and an LED light for precision trimming in any lighting. But that's not all. The Weed Whacker ear and nose hair trimmer with proprietary skin-safe technology helps reduce nicks and tugs, while a Crop Preserver ball deodorant and Crop Reviver ball toner keep you smelling fresh all day long. And with the added bonus of the performance, box of briefs and a travel bag, you'll be ready to tackle any adventure life throws your way. So why wait? Upgrade your grooming game and join the 8 million men who trust Manscaped. Use the code XG20 at manscaped.com. Get 20% off and free shipping. Trust us, your balls will thank you.
Yeah, no, it's not Cole Palmer levels. Like, it's one of them, if he wasn't football, it'd be like...
It's the same. Anyway, so did you see that this week then?
Yeah.
What's going on? I mean, is PK's life's just gone west, hasn't it, in a big way?
PK just lost his head, really. But that clip of when he wouldn't get up or move for Frankie de Jong to get past, it's just a bit like... everyone thought...
Proper knobhead manoeuvres.
Yeah, but everyone think de Jong does have the dog in him. Do you know what I mean? He looked like a bit of a bull, like a bit of a chief.
Who, PK?
No, de Jong.
Oh.
You don't know the terminology, do you? He just looks like a bit of a victim.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but PK's establishment at Barcelona, I mean, literally, his dad was a director. He's a future president, probably.
Ambassador.
Yeah. He's probably had to write off about 40 million quid in salary that they owed him. Barcelona's run like an absolute crack then, honestly.
Do you reckon?
Yeah.
Who in their right mind writes off 40 million at the road?
Because I think he's done it. He's independently wealthy.
Oh, outside football?
Massively so. He's a proper businessman in tech and stuff.
Yeah.
And I think he wants to be Barcelona president. And I think foregoing that 40 mil to be the Barcelona president and say,
It's mad how people forget PK played for us. It's mad that. He's insane.
There was a player... and people are going to go, oh, that's Danny Simpson, obviously. It's not. There's a player that used to play for United that didn't make it at United. He didn't even make it as a pro, I don't think. I think he might have played League 1 or League 2, perhaps.
Before you say it, we got the story wrong.
What?
Apparently, it was a dispute about De Jong wanting PK to move back so his girlfriend could sit next to him. And basically, PK was like, no. But I've not liked all the things I've heard about De Jong's wife.
Oh. Interesting.
She seems a little bit... She dictates what he does a little bit too much.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? I think she wears the pants, the trousers, and the shorts.
So on... what was it on about? Oh, yeah, so... There was a lad that was at United when PK, Rossi, and all them guys were in the academy, and they were saying PK is a complete fucking lunatic, like prankster, having a laugh constantly. I think he stole Roy Keane's shoes. So on a coach trip somewhere, took Roy Keane's shoes off. Roy Keane stood up. I'm gonna fucking batter all you till you get my shoes back. And PK's just running around like throwing shoes around everywhere, and not speaking English, just laughing.
All right, so he was
off his nut.
He acted like someone that didn't care if his career went off because he had money anyway. That's the vibe I'm getting.
Yeah, like, people think Barcelona is like a working class club. It's really not. It's proper like Catalonian aristocracy.
I thought that was common knowledge about the likes of Barcelona and Real Madrid.
No, I think because people know
well tied into the government. Yeah.
The royal aspect of Real Madrid, that's what real means, is well known.
Yeah.
But I think because of Real Madrid being like the government, Franco's team, the King's team, I think people assume Barcelona is anti that, but it's not. It's pro-separatist, as in they want Catalonia to be its own sort of state, but it don't mean they're working class. Bit of a posh club, a bit about like fucking yachts and stuff. They all live in like Gaudi apartments and shit in the centre of Barcelona.
Yeah. I've not been Barcelona. Last time I been Barcelona was 6. I went there a couple of times, but last time I went I was 16. It's fairly nice. It's got a nice traditional vibe about it though. You're basically saying it's a little bit posh, bougie yachts. There's an element of that, but that's not completely what it's like.
No, of course not. It's a city.
Yeah.
It's a city around the Mediterranean. It's going to have places that are on top as fuck. I know someone who played there as well, as a youngster. And he said it was a bit racismo.
I can get it. Piqué owns the Kings League, which gets more viewers than your average La Liga game on Twitch, 500k plus. He's got money from all angles.
There's a Spanish player playing in it, isn't there? In like a Mexican wrestler's mask.
Yeah, probably.
Have you not seen it? No, there literally is.
No, there is, but I reckon Fingy's big on Twitch as well, so I don't know if Fingy's tied into that. Aguero.
Could be Aguero, couldn't it?
Could be Aguero. No, but Aguero could be able to do it though, because
his contract finished. He had to retire, but maybe that's why he's had to do it. And it doesn't look like a big guy. It could be Aguero looking at the shape of it.
Oh, I've just cracked it.
Yeah, you might have just cracked it. Maybe it's not a La Liga player, current La Liga player playing out of contract. Maybe it's Aguero playing because no one would insure him. Maybe that's it.
Oh shit. Okay, now.
Didn't Piqué burn Everest's shoes so he pooped in his? Oh, I think so. That sounds about right, with the pair of them, in all honesty. Fred shouldn't be a starter. We're not talking about that.
Nah,
Aguero has his own team. Oh, he's already involved.
Okay. Yeah,
Maybe
Aguero does play in it. Definitely. He loves the Twitch, doesn't he?
Ronaldinho played a few weeks ago. See, there's all sorts of stuff going on content-wise with football that...
No, there isn't. Obviously, back to what we said before, because I saw that thing with the De Jong thing, is people are still holding out for the fact that he's going to come in the summer. But people think the main reason why he won't is because of his wife wanting to stay in Spain. Obviously, that could be a massive factor, so we might never see De Jong play for us, actually. You have to look for an alternative.
You got to keep your partner happy, haven't you? Like, I think one of the reasons Vidic was on his bike was his missus wanted to live in Italy.
I mean, yeah.
Obviously, Italy's a lot closer to Serbia if you've got family and
stuff.
Yeah,
but his missus did enough time in England. She ride it out enough, do you know what I mean? So
Everett was saying similar things, actually, as well. His missus wanted to go, and I think he talks about this in his book, but he was saying when he was coming to leave United...
because think about it. If you got a partner and you're a footballer and you move in a different country,
you're dictating their life.
Yeah, it is
for the most part. Like, I've just been sold to Southampton, so pack your shit.
You are dictating their life, but it's not a bad life, though, is it?
No, and that's the trade-off.
Yeah, that's a trade-off.
That is the trade-off that you get with it. Is that you're probably not going to need to work. You're going to have a nice lifestyle, but you need new friends every 2 years, which sucks.
Yeah.
No, there's pros and cons with every single lifestyle everyone's going to have. It is what it is.
Yeah, true.
Notch says, ever thought a lot with his wife about living in Manchester? Yeah, I'm just trying to think what I know and what is public in terms of how that went down. But let's just say, there was dramas with it and about why it was a major factor in him going to Juventus, put it that way.
Yeah. And it's one of the major factors of why Di Maria got off so quickly. Yeah,
well, as we know. Everett said something really interesting. I can't remember if he said this on air or not, and he was like, he said he looked in the mirror about 3 months in at Juventus, and he was like, I'm wearing this fucking kit. Like the Juventus kit.
Yeah.
Winning leagues, not happy. Just like, I don't want to wear this kit.
Fuck.
It was interesting what he said about. We was having a chat about different training type stuff, and he said when he got to Juve. So I don't know how many people know this, but Juventus have a pre-season training camp. It's about 2 weeks. They have a hotel. I don't know if it's at the training ground or close to the training ground, where basically they go into camp. So it's like you don't leave. You're there 24/7. They've got chefs, and he was saying that the chef had a picture of every player, like laminated above the finger, and they would come and give you your portion. Some players needed a bit more energy, they got this. Some players were a bit overweight, they got this. And he said, he goes, it was too much. He goes, it needed a little bit more common sense applied to it. He goes, but he said he liked the 2 week camp. He goes, to just focus on everything. He goes, he liked that. He goes, but He goes, I wasn't expecting that. He goes, I turned up. He goes, people are like, oh, where's your wash bag and like your books and stuff like that. He's like, talking about? And he's like, oh, you're not going home for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
He's like, what? I need to make a phone call.
Jesus. He's like, get me out of here.
Is De Jong the new Wesley Sneijder? I saw Wesley Sneijder last week. Hey, Wesley Sneijder's been doing some eating, mate. And do you know what? I'll allow it because I bet he's still got the touch of a god.
Yeah, he's probably, you got to respect it.
Doesn't De Gea's wife live in Spain? Yeah, isn't she still in Madrid?
Yeah, I think, I wouldn't surprise me.
Hard work, that.
Hard work.
Anyways, we're going to wrap it up. Make sure to check out Manscaped. The code and the link for that will be in the description below. But cheers for tuning in as always. Preview will be out tomorrow. If you're in the area, and United haven't got a game till Sunday, but if you're in the area, come down and watch Paddock. We're playing top of the league tomorrow, 2 o'clock kickoff, free entry. It will be cold, so definitely wrap up. But come and watch us and see how we get on against top of the league. And if you've not seen how we got on last week, we played well last week, but we didn't quite get the win. Go and watch the video from last week and let us know your thoughts. And I'll catch you in the next one. Laters.
Hey, thank you for watching the video. If you are new around these parts, then don't forget to subscribe. My channel is proudly supported by my community on Patreon. If you'd like to get a little bit of extra content, a Discord group, meetups, five-a-side games, weekly podcasts, behind the scenes, and even an occasional bit of transfer news as and when I get it, then for the price of a pint, you can show your appreciation for the content that we make and get some goodies for doing so as well. Check the link in the description or click the button right here. You'll also find all of my socials here too if you want to follow me on any of those platforms. Nice one.